Hey everyone, hit that like button and subscribe to Betrayed in the Big Apple. Hope you dig this story. Let's dive in. I thought I was playing it cool, arriving early at the lawyer's office, but when my hotshot attorney finally showed and we got ushered into the conference room, Mark and his Ice Queen lawyer were already there, chilling like they owned the place. Jealousy. That green-eyed monster. It always claws at me whenever I see him even talking to a woman who's got it going on. I guess deep down I've always felt a little less than him. Mark was a total catch. Still is at 48, even hotter than he was at 20. Tall, ripped, owns his own booming business. Big shot in the downtown alliance. A shiver went down my spine at the thought that if today went south, I might never again feel those strong arms around me. Mark barely looked up as I trailed my attorney into the room. My face, I know, went white as a ghost when the lawyer, a stunning redhead, all sharp cheekbones and power suit, reached over and squeezed Mark's forearm right above his wrist. A we're in this together kind of move. Totally out of place, but not exactly wrong. Officially, she's just reassuring her client, calming him down, but in my head it screamed, "Let's wrap this up so I can ditch you as a client and see what you're packing downstairs." And trust me, I knew from experience she'd be in for a treat. My husband? Let's just say he's gifted and knows how to use it. Mark turned to her, flashed that $1 million smile, the one that used to melt me, but it faded fast, going neutral before he finally glanced at me. I wanted to throw myself at his feet, beg him to forgive me, promise to spend the rest of my life worshipping the ground he walked on if he'd just forget the one massive screw-up I made in our 28 years. But that wasn't how my lawyer had planned it. Frustration gnawed at me. Mark was stonewalling me, refusing to even speak. This meeting, this whole legal circus was his doing. My attorney started small talk with the redhead while I sank into the chair opposite Mark. I pulled the manila folder from my oversized tote, unfolded my carefully crafted 2-page script. I glanced up and caught Mark smirking, just a twitch of his lips. 30 years he's known me. He knows I over-prepare for everything important. He opened his laptop, plugged in these tiny speakers, put down a single sheet of paper and a pen beside it. Then, ice cold, he rested his hands on the table, looked right at me, face blank. No anger, no hate, no grief, nothing. I'd spent 3 days prepping for this, knew my script backwards, forwards, tailored it, line by line, to yank on his heartstrings, to hit him right in the feels. The lawyer chit-chat died down. Redhead lawyer, all business, took charge. All right, we all know why we're here. Mrs. Miller has agreed to sign the divorce petition as presented. My client, Mr. Miller, will listen to her for no less than 1 hour. She glanced at her watch. Ready when you are. Hour starts now. She flipped this little kitchen timer on the table. Loud ticking filled the room, making the silence even heavier. I was still simmering about Mark insisting on his lawyer being here. This was supposed to be private. I was about to lay my soul bare, grovel for forgiveness, maybe even twist the knife a little, hint that he hadn't been perfect either, all embarrassing enough with just the two of us, humiliating with strangers, whatever, no point in whining, no choice now. I glanced at my totally useless notes, crossed my fingers. My friend, Chloe, swore by this opening gambit. Worked for her when her husband caught her cheating. Ego repair, she called it. Cleared my throat. Thanks for seeing me today, Mark. I just want to say, right off the bat, I was wrong. Totally wrong. It had nothing to do with you, any failing on your part. It was all me, self-centered, selfish, stupid. Days of soul-searching, agonizing over every word had led me to this. Honesty, I figured, was key. Mark always valued that, or so I thought. Crucial to take all the blame up front then, subtly, plant the seed that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't completely innocent either. I really believed, deep down, Mark wanted to forgive me. He just needed an excuse. My whole speech, every carefully chosen word, was designed to give him that out. If the kids were still home, easy. Think of the family, Mark. Guaranteed win. But they were grown, flown the coop. You gotta play the hand you're dealt, as Mark always says. I risked a peek at his face, see how my words were landing. Blindsided. His expression was still neutral. Worse, he wasn't even looking at me. He just picked up a pen, ticked off the first sentence on his paper. My opening line. Exactly what he expected. My confidence took a nosedive. Arrogance, pure and simple. I'd been so sure I had him figured out, tailoring my argument based on 30 years of knowing him. Dumbass. He'd spent those same 30 years watching me. Rattled? Understatement. I stuck rigidly to my script. It was all me, Mark. Stupid, selfish choices. I was feeling lost, you know. Empty nest, getting older, feeling invisible. Then I met Jake through the community garden project. He was smooth, a total player. Knew exactly which buttons to push. Started as just a friend, listening to my problems after garden meetings. That's when you were traveling so much last year. Lies, half-truths, carefully woven together. One day, after a meeting, the place closed up. Jake suggested coffee. Seemed harmless. He played the good friend routine so well. Didn't realize he was working his charm, breaking down my defenses. More lies. It was obvious from day one what Jake wanted. I lapped it up. Coffee turned into lunch, lunch into dinner. Restaurants got fancier, gifts got nicer. Oh, Mark, you have no idea how good it feels to have a guy 15 years younger showering you with attention. The guilt was a dull ache, but I pushed it down. You'd have been proud of me, though. It was months before he even made a move. Asked me to sleep with him. I said no. Major lie. I was practically throwing myself at him by then. I should have cut him off then, I know, once his intentions were clear, but I was hooked. Addicted to the compliments, the attention, ego boost, pure and simple, pure and... I paused, sniffed dramatically, rubbed my eyes with a finger I'd subtly dabbed with onion juice from my pocket. Burned like hell, dared not touch the other eye. One tear streaming down my cheek had to be enough. Halted, restarted, stammered. Oh, honey, I'm so ashamed. Voice cracking perfectly. I didn't break it off. He took me to this fancy restaurant. Bought a $300 bottle of wine, even though he doesn't even drink wine, just to impress me. I ended up drinking most of it. Pretty sure that was his plan all along. More lies piled on lies. I was tipsy. couldn't think straight. When we left, he offered to drive me home. Stupidly, I said yes, parked in the driveway, leaned over, kissed me. I was too drunk to stop him. Lies, lies, lies. You know how I get after a glass or two? My judgment goes out the window. All I could think was, get him out of the driveway before the neighbors see. Plausible deniability. That's why I opened the garage. Get him inside, out of sight. A calculated risk, that little admission. Didn't want the neighbors to see a strange car in the driveway the next morning. Playing on Mark's pride. Being cheated on, it's a blow to a man's ego. Wanted to reassure you, no one else would ever know. Except for the two lawyers, of course. But details, details. Jake got out of the car, garage door closing, started kissing me again. Like I said, bottle of wine, ripe for the picking. He grabbed my keys, led me inside. Voice trembling, Oscar-worthy performance. I steered him to the spare bedroom, embarrassed to even say this. Let him have his way with me. Shame, shame, shame. So sorry, Mark. Sob. My only saving grace. I was sober enough to make him use protection. Half-truth. Protection was used eventually. Afterwards, we both crashed. Me, drunk. Him, probably exhausted after the chase. Self-pity, check. I know, for sure, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't drunk. Would have been mortified in the morning. Kicked him to the curb. Instant. Biggest lie of all. Then, you walked in, flipped on the lights. Never felt such shame in my life. Look of pain on your face killed me. Realized the damage I'd done to you, to us. Tears streaming down my face now. Onion-induced, but still. Turned pleading eyes to my husband. Lifetime together. I could read him like a book usually. Judge how my plea was landing. His expression, still neutral, blank. Not even looking at me. Bizarrely. Fiddling with the laptop. Writing notes? No. Clicked a link. Sound blasted from the speakers. My voice. Oh, don't kiss me, your breath reeks of beer. Then Jake's voice. What about you, rotten wine breath? I only had one lousy glass of the house white. Audio clip cut off. Thunderous silence. Roaring in my ears. Embarrassed. Humiliated. When Mark caught me that night with Jake, dragged Jake out by his hair, beat him naked in the spare room. Nothing compared to this. Caught in a lie, a mountain of lies, in front of strangers. Completely, utterly busted. Confidence script everything, vaporized. Eyes darted around the room. Mark's lawyer, that viper, a faint smirk playing on her lips. My lawyer, looking slightly green. Mark, just staring at me, expectantly. Blank face. Later, I'd replay this moment, try to understand why it didn't click. Mark had an audio recording of that night in the spare bedroom. Logic fail. Why a recorder? Unless he knew beforehand that it might record something. What else had we said? Brain short-circuited, humiliation overload, silence stretched, agonizing. Glanced at my cryptic notes, stupidly plunged on, desperate, clutching at straws. It was just the once, Mark. It would never happen again. Never. Please believe me. I just wasn't strong enough to resist him. But I wasn't completely out of control. Made him use protection. Didn't let him take me in our bed. More lies. He wanted to, you know, but I wouldn't. Never, no matter how drunk I was. You saw us, right? Spare bedroom. Mark just looked at me sadly. Sadness? Worse than the blankness. Shook his head. Turned back to his laptop. Sensed, rather than heard, him double-clicking. Cringed. Jake's voice. I just love seeing it dripping out of your body. It's so hot. Clip ended. Another double click. Jake again. When can I have you in that clueless husband of yours bed again? That was so cool this time. Mark clicked, cut it off. Just looked at me, silent, accusing. What could I say? Every lie, every pathetic excuse, blown to smithereens. Not by Mark, not by anything he said. By my own words. Protection. Lie. One-time drunken mistake. Lie. Not in our bed. Lie. All exposed. 30 seconds of audio. Tick. 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 Speechless. Embarrassment. Crushing. Glanced at Mark. Still no clue. Neutral stare. Peripheral vision. My lawyer glanced at his watch. Timer. 60 minutes. To save my marriage. Disaster. Panic rising. Forced it down. Started again. I'm sorry for lying, Mark. About it being the first time. I didn't want to hurt you more than I already had. Thought if I could convince you it was just once. Drunken mistake, you wouldn't be so hurt. Stumbled into silence. Confess? Multiple times a week with Jake. 6 months. How much did Mark know? Recordings proved it wasn't the first time. But how much more? Recorder hidden in the spare room. Suggested he suspected more than one time. Didn't know. One more lie, game over. Julian, old girl, vague. Avoid details, stick to facts. Inner pep talk. Truth is, Mark, Jake seduced me. Took a while. He has a thing for older women and... It's true. Woman my age, ego boost. Man almost the age of a kid's pursuing you. I wasn't strong enough. Weak. Needy. Considered saying I'd only used the master bedroom once. Lie. Better light than I was currently in. But how long had Mark known? Silence. Dangerous. Short time left to turn this train wreck around. No clue. Glanced at notes. Discard first few points. Hijacked. Highlighted words. Love. Respect. Started again. I never stopped loving or respecting you, Mark. Never. Never gave you less love. Jake was extra. Dimension. Took nothing from you. Just overflow. Idiot. Paused. Mark looked back at his screen. Frowned. Trouble finding something? Expression flickered. Neutral to confused. Then relaxed. Realized. Restarted the clip. Jake asking about the marital bed. Same clip. Cringed. My voice. Told you, never again. Not after last time. Mark came out of the shower, stepped in that blob of stuff on the carpet. Oh, God. Smelled it from across the room, swallowed hard. Thank God Mark bought the sneezed snot story. Sunk lower. Me offering to clean his foot. Quickie to distract him. Worked. Jake's voice. Husband does sound clueless, sometimes. We got away with it that time he came home early. I hid in the closet. What a jerk. My voice sneering. Yes, but he's my jerk. At first, thought it was cute. He trusted me so much. Never saw the clues. Now, clueless schmuck. Wonder if we could do it right here, while he's in the room, see if he notices. Sneer in my own voice. Dead horse. Convince him I loved and respected him. Impossible. Flat spin. Before meeting, convinced myself I loved and respected Mark. After hearing myself saying those things, how? Ticking silence. Nail in the coffin. Mark turned to look at me. Couldn't face him. Turned to his lawyer. Contempt. Flind. More than just a client. My lawyer. Contempt. Not quick enough to hide it. Room full of people who thought I was dog crap. One supposed to be on my side. Confidence. Gone. Self-respect. Fading fast. Notes. Offensive. Started again. You have to admit, Mark, last 6 months you've been less attention. Taking me for granted. Business trips. Drifting away. Digging my own grave deeper. Kids gone. Feeling lost. You weren't there. Telling me I wasn't old, unattractive, reassuring me. Needed it most. Paused. Mark's eyes back to his damn screen. Fingers danced. Cringed. Another file. Jake's voice. Sorry, doll. 2 weeks. Too long. My voice whiny. 2 weeks is too long. Can't we see each other more? Jake, petulant. Stop whining. 2 weeks for me, too. Needs to. Especially since you asked me to cut down on Mark's rations. My voice, smug. 3-day trip planned last week. Could have snuck away. Cancelled last minute. Only getting some tonight because of his urgent meeting. Wish he'd travel more. Jake, wanting more. Well, I want more. My voice, dismissive. You get what I choose to give you. Clip ended. Shame. Looked down. 3 condemning stares. State of mind, then? Novelty of Jake fading. Betraying Mark. Losing respect for him. Loss of respect, hurting my conscience. More than anything. Pulling away emotionally, preparing for meeting. Accuse him of pulling away. Hypocrite. Emotionally divorcing Mark. Cutting him off in bed. Easy. Mark's loving caresses. So different from Jake's impatience. Wrong. Very wrong. Turning down Mark's advances. Pushed. Then stopped. Clicked. Mark gave up love life. Same time as longer hours. Trips. Emotionally distancing? No. He knew. For a while. Recorder in the spare room. Weeks. Devastating. My whole approach, minimizing humble pie. Get my life back. Wounded bull. No. He knew for weeks. More devious than I thought. Wasting my time. Tick, 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 no clue. Notes, distraction. Game changed. Mark knew. State of mind. Betrayal. Motivation. Not satisfied. Boring. Kinky side. Love Jake. Runaway. Fears. Doubts. Fixable. Risk. More lies. What else had Jake and I said? Only night mark recorded? Sequence. Set up recorder. Confront. Not sure for long. Not that good an actor. Convince him. Truth. Loved and respected him. Desperation. Not lose him. Prove it. But jerk schmuck. Respected him. Loved him. Time. Bought time. Persuade him. No divorce papers. Ticks left. Score points. Lots. Stalled. Looked at Mark. Started again. I know it seems I lost love, respect for you, Mark. Assure you never did. Love you, our life. Want to end my days with you. Only you. Glimpse of life without you. Shame when you caught me. Straight and narrow rest of my life. Assured. Jake. Distraction. Sugar hit. Ego boost. Didn't love him. Never run away. Wrong. Very wrong. Especially suggesting we make love less. Don't know why I went along with that. Convinced myself, giving him excess you couldn't handle. He didn't have more stamina, less skilled, less considerate. Lust, selfishness, ego trip. Nice to be exhausted. Body lost interest in intimacy. Unemotional. Not kinky stuff I denied you. Stopped. Mark's fingers. Button. Hovering. Anticipation. My voice. Louder than life. Stick that plastic object in my body. Almost there. Time slowed. Marriage demise. Slow-mo. Lawyer. Pen. Table. Turn to me. Disgust. Couldn't pay someone to be on my side. Mark's lawyer leaned forward. Laptop screen. Video clips. Worse. Woman gripped Mark's arm. Support. Mark's reaction. Devastation. Single tear. Torturing himself. Stealing himself. Screen. Recording. Weeks before. Mark watching. Long enough. See enough. After second time, Jake woke me. Simulated forced intimacy. Kink. Accident. Silence. Speakers. Me coming. Spectacular. Hot then. Sleazy now. Sleazy. Tawdry. Empty. Table. Lawyer. Divorce papers. Nothing. Combat dastardly deeds. Husband. Dave. Destroyed rationalization. Minimization. Pathetic attempts. Finished. Conductor. Orchestra. Dave. Pointed. Section. Play next. Skills. Talent. No words. Executed me. No. Me. Walked scaffold. Blindfold. Noose. Lever. Dave built scaffold. Walked away. Never had chance. Last clip. Without hesitation, without looking. Knew exactly what I'd say. Crafted arguments, intimate knowledge. 3 decades. Forgot he'd been looking back. Same time. Intelligent, perceptive eyes. Shame, humiliation, unbearable. Flight response. Escape. House. Still home. Eviction notice. Settlement. Escape. Children. Never know. Unconditional love. Escape route. Signing away life. Pen. Signed. 2 agreements. Dropped pen. Fluid movement. Surprised Mark's business wasn't worth more. Lawyer's evaluation. Mark not known long enough to hide it. Son of a... Last recording ended. Ticking silence. Lawyer picked up papers. Handed copy to woman. Briefcase. Left. Frozen. Run. Positive message. Ember. Hope. Fan into flame. Dave. Still cared. Well-being. Jarring rasp. Alarm. Action. Stood. Positive peace. The jackal. Hands on Mark's arm. Don't ruin your life. Jail. Revenge on Jake. Reappears. Never forgive myself. Dave's response. Another clip. Time. Not my voice. Woman's. Screeching. Little creep did what? Rip his testicles off if my brothers don't get to him first. Mrs. Jake? Jake's silence after beating. Fear? No. Divorced. Penniless. Fitting end for cheater. Dead. Slept with me. Burden. Overloaded conscience. Couldn't face Dave. Expressionless. Laughing. Crying. Hurt. Remind me what I'd done. Good man. Lost everything. House, money. Huge emotional blow. Cause. Deserved everything. Teary goodbye. Darling. Door. Pathetic attempt. Pestilent bug. Megan. Joel. Door open. Voices. Days of last-minute phone calls to firing squad. Last scar of optimism. Not normal speaking. Another recording. Emotional young male voice. Mom did what? Cheating woman. Familiar female voice. Sure, Dad. Drinking alone tonight. End of story. Expected. Twist. Thoughts and comments. Conversation. Hooked. Like button. New. Not subscribed. Now's time. Join community. Fresh stories daily. Subscribe button. Notifications. Never miss out. Thanks for watching. Next one.